Alright, so I wanted to get on here and talk about Venus and Aries. And I did want to wear red. I'm out of uniform, but if I don't do it now, it won't get done. I'm still a Venus and Aries. It don't matter what I'm wearing, because that's what my sign is. And so in order to be a Venus and Aries, you have to be Pisces, Gemini, Aquarius, Taurus, Aries. And I might be missing one, but you're going to be either one of those signs, and you'll have Venus and Aries. And you don't have to have the birth time, most likely, for this, unless you, like, was born on a 29th degree or something like that, if you know that information, you know. But for the most part, you don't need the time of birth to get your Venus sign. But anyways, I'm making this video while I'm waiting on my baby's daycare to open up. But my experience with it, and I looked online to, you know, kind of hear what other people had to say about Venus and Aries. And mostly it was astrologers, not many that gave their own personal experience being one. Well, actually, there was one. But she did not really talk about her experience and how she acts, you know, because it just depends on your Mars sign, and it depends on other things, how it's going to play out. So I don't agree with me being the chaser. They just kept saying if you have Mars and Venus, you like to chase, and if you're a woman, you're more masculine. And I'm not masculine at all, you know, maybe in a way, because I can be detached in my love relationships. Like, if I sleep with you, you know, I'm like not immediately asking, what are we? Like, I'm not instantly falling in love with you. You might have to track me down. And so I feel like Venus in Aries is you are attracting men. If you're a woman, you're attracting men, you're attracting partners. A man or a woman, I feel like you might probably easily attract the opposite sex. And I've listened to some astrologers that were like ancient astrology or Hellenistic, and they talked about how Mars was romantic, like it was romance and not this, you know, just constantly, just military, just a fighter. Like, he's a lover and a fighter, you know. I mean, when you think about, you watch those old movies like 300, it's not really old, but like 300, you know, yeah, he was a fucking beast at war, but he also passionately made love to his wife and was very, you know, very connected to his wife, like. But he, you know, but he still was a fucking general. You know, he led a whole army, but he still had a soft side. So I don't know why they take that from Mars. You know, my partner is very Aryan, but he is very, at least with me, he's very soft, and he can be very affectionate. All over me, all over each other, all the time. And I feel like that's how it plays out. It's very passionate, deep passion. I feel like because my Mars is in Capricorn, it makes me really ambitious. I'm always striving to achieve something. I'm always after something, you know. So that's how I feel like my Venus in Aries plays out. I don't chase men, but I do attract them, especially when I was younger. And I would get bored in love. That's what they say. You get bored real quick. That's true. I would get bored. You know, I would have I'm telling on myself now. Like, I would have more than one boyfriend, you know. More than one boyfriend. I would leave them. I would break up with them all the time. You know, I was terrible. I was actually fucking terrible. But, anyways, I really don't want to make this long, because this is not a lecture or anything. I'm just really sharing my experience with the sign and just going over some things that I heard that I really didn't. And also, yes, I'm assertive at work. And once I'm in a relationship, yeah, I can be kind of aggressive, but in a good way. And I've never gotten any complaints. So I'm assertive and aggressive. I will initiate, so it's not like I'm be waiting on you to do it all the time. I will initiate. So I feel like it comes into play with that as well. And also I get along with males more than anybody. I grew up with a bunch of male cousins. That's all I had was boy cousins. And then when I get to school, I have a lot of guy friends. And when I was in 5th grade, my teacher would put me at a table with all the boys. And I'm like, why am I the only one with all the boys? And she's like, because you're so good with them. It's like, the fuck? Like all the girls, they got them home girls, something. I'm sitting here with all these sickening ass boys. But she right. Like I was used to that. I had a bunch of boy cousins. I was used to being around a bunch of dudes. And then I have more boys than I have girls with my children. So, it shows itself. And that was one of the things about being a Venus in Aries. If you're a woman, you're going to have mostly boys. I think that's the same that would go for men as well. But that's all I can really think of right now. I like the fact that my Venus in Aries, but they said that it's in detriment because it's in Aries. It's opposing Libra because Aries is the other side of Libra. So Venus doesn't like being in Aries. So you have fights in your relationships. And I kind of used to like to start like fights in my relationships, or it would like bring more excitement into the relationship for me. Like it would. Now that I'm grown, that is dysfunctional. That's not a good way to be. To want to be with the guy that gives you trouble instead of the one that is very sweet and tender to you and don't want to fight with you. But I used to step all on that type of guy. Like I would leave him because I would get mad and try to fight with him, but he would just be cool and stuff and be like, yeah, all right. He let it slide. He let it slide. Like, it was so boring to me. Like, why don't you fight me back? Why don't you fight me back? And but I have gotten older. Okay, I've gotten older. I've become more mature, so I don't love that way. I don't see aggression and intensity as love, even though I still like the feeling. It's in my current relationship, so it's still a part of my life. But now, like if me and him didn't work out in the long run, like I would not turn a guy down because he was very reserved and laid back. Like I know better now. I actually would prefer that more. I'm tired. I don't feel like I'm almost 40 years old. I don't feel like fighting anymore. I don't feel like all that drama, So that was mainly when I was younger, and not everybody grow up not everybody mature. But yeah, I did get restless and start issues in the relationship. And actually me finding out about Venus in Aries brought light to that about me, why I was like that. But also I grew up with parents that used to fight, so that might be why as well. You can't forget about how you grew up, so that's probably part of it. But yeah, I had a reading with an astrologer, and she told me that I would have a lot of fights in my relationships, a lot of, you know, back and forth, and to put my energy towards making something or building metal, working with metal. I don't see me working with metal. I'm more so of an artist with my oracle decks. That's my outlet. That's my artistic outlet. I enjoy making oracle decks. But I get what she's saying. Like, don't allow yourself to get restless and want to fight with your man and stuff. But I'm no longer like that. So I'm trying to think what else I'm missing here, because I ain't write nothing down. That's mainly it. If you're a Venus and Aries, I would love to hear your experience as one. What your relationships are like. Did anything I say resonate? Was it true, or did you disagree? And I will see you in the next one.